Hey everyone, Rebecca Martin from Rebecca Martin Coaching. Thank you so much for joining. I'm here to teach you transformational public speaking skills for the workplace and also for your life. So I'm so happy that you came today and you are here to hear me talk about the topic of being clear and concise in your communication. Whoa, this is a challenging topic, and it's definitely one that most of my clients come to me for. How can I be more concise in my communication? One thing about the power of one-on-one coaching, communication coaching, is that we can get to the root of why you specifically are not as concise in your communication in your workplace. And so then I give you techniques that are tailored to you to help you to get better results. But in general, there are a few techniques that I teach just about everybody to help them to be more concise. So hopefully you find these applicable and relevant. Um, so I'll just dial back and just say that the issue of being concise is an issue that most of us in the US, in our society, have a problem with. Most of us speak in run on sentences, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, we have been disconnected from how to play our instrument. So, like, there's a trumpet instrument and there's a fiddle instrument, and you play them specifically in a certain way. We have forgotten how to play our instrument. The way we are built to speak is to take a deep breath, speak at the top of our inhale, and exhale while we speak. When we're done with our breath, we are done with our sentence. That's how all of this works together well. When we do this, we speak in full and complete sentences, and we don't tend towards run on sentences. Now, because we live in such a fast-paced society, because we are very distracted and distractible and multitaskers, because we're constantly running on caffeine and adrenaline, we might tend to speak in very short sentences, but interrupt ourselves with a tiny little catch breath and take very shallow little breaths all the way through our communication, which doesn't naturally create any type of organic end to our sentence. We really could just go on and on and on and on because we're taking little tiny catch breaths and we never need to stop. So, that's one reason why we tend to speak and run on sentences. A couple of other reasons are most of us, we live in a culture of that favors interrupting. So we want to get our voice in there as quickly as possible. So maybe we don't think before we speak. And so we don't quite know what our point is. We don't quite know what our message is. And so we'll keep speaking until we find our point or we find our message, or maybe we feel like we've achieved our goal. But because we haven't identified our goal to begin with, we continue to question ourselves and say, have I said it? Have I said enough? Have I gotten there? Where are we? What have I accomplished? Etc. So we'll have this kind of inner question mark that will keep us going, we will keep on speaking until we feel like we've just finally exhausted ourselves, or at least come to a stopping point, or we're interrupted by somebody else. So we need to find some way to come back to our center and speak in clear and concise sentences. Feel like what we have said is enough, and know that what we've said is enough. So there are three techniques that I'm going to give you. A couple of them are body somatic techniques, and then a couple of them are more organizational or content techniques. So the first technique is to start with your message. So this can often feel a little bit challenging because you might ask yourself, or you might say, I don't know what my message is. But if you take just a second to think about, like, what's the point of what I'm trying to say, or what's the takeaway, or what's the message I want to communicate, regardless of whether or not I feel like I need to back it up immediately, most of us can come up with an answer. So the challenge here is that your message needs to be one sentence. And you can use these lead-in sentences that I'm going to give you in order to help you to formulate your message at the top of your communication, jumping into a meeting. So the lead-in sentences are, the point I want to make is, the message I'd like to communicate is, fill in the blank, one sentence. What I want you to take away from this is, fill in the blank, one sentence. You get the point. So you can give yourself a structure that helps you to clearly communicate your message in one sentence right at the beginning of your contribution. It might feel counterintuitive, but it works. And what you can do is follow that with 3 reasons why this is your solution, or this is your message, or this is the takeaway. 3 points, 3 ways in which you came to this conclusion. You can do your backing up of your message after you deliver your message clearly and concisely. This way, you're not wandering towards the goalpost. So that's the first technique. And gosh, if you apply that, you are going to be feeling good because you will be communicating well. The second technique, which is kind of tied to the first, is to do just a little bit of preparation. So before you go into a meeting, think about, what are 2 messages that I might want to communicate to the group? What are 2 questions that I might want to ask the group in order to move the group towards our shared goal? So just take 3 minutes, write down 2 messages, write down 2 questions. If you do this, you are already prepared with your content, and you will be able to deliver your message right off the bat and then tell them why you think that after, with a little bit of explanation. But you already have done the hard work of coming up with your message. So I hope these 2 techniques feel helpful thus far, because these will honestly massively change your communication if you put them to work. So the third technique is going to be something that's more physical, that's more somatic. And what that is that you can focus on speaking in shorter sentences. So again, often we are going on and on because we are allowing ourselves to take those tiny little catch breaths all along the way and not having an organic end to our sentence. If you take a deep breath, speak at the top of your inhale, exhale while you speak, you will necessarily run out of breath by the end of your sentence. This prompts you to speak in shorter sentences. So if you think about your topic and you just think, I'm going to speak in shorter sentences, you'll naturally take a breath at the beginning and you'll give a little pause at the end. This is a great way to make sure that you are clear, direct, and concise. So thanks so much for watching. I hope that these techniques help you. Please let me know in the comments below if you were able to utilize any of these techniques, if you have any questions, any experiences you want to share, or any prompts for a follow-up video. I am really happy to support you. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.